As per tradition at WWDC, Apple announced their latest software this year, but unlike tradition, this year the software was boring and lackluster. So should you really even care about iOS and iPadOS 16 this year? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Yoni, I'm a self-taught developer, and today I'm going to be talking about iOS 16 and iPadOS 16, and also a small bit about the Apple event that happened a few weeks ago. Quickly, before we start, yes, I know, I'm really late on this. Everyone else did coverage weeks back, months back at this point it feels like. Sorry for hitting that microphone there, that may have hurt your ears, but yeah, everyone's done coverage months back, and I'm sorry, I know I'm late, I've just been really busy, but now I should be able to actually make videos again, even though I said that in the last video. Even though that was only a week ago, so a week ago currently, it'll be 2 weeks ago when this comes out, but sorry. As iOS was the only software to really get updates this year, iPadOS, we'll cover iOS first. Finally, you'll be able to customize so much more of your lock screen, not just the wallpaper of your. Now you can add what Apple are calling widgets, but they're really just complications started from the Apple Watch, but you know what, I don't care. Developers can make them, therefore this means you can finally see more than the date, the time, and your torch and camera from your home's lock screen. You can actually use your lock screen now, and you can actually see valuable information such as the weather, your activity rings, and hopefully when developers start to introduce updates around September time, you'll be able to see your to-do list, well, at least something to do with your to-do list. You'll be able to see more information from your lock screen, basically, which is great. And I'm pretty sure as the activity rings only work once your phone sees your face. Hopefully that means with certain apps, let's say you only want to be able to see it if it's been unlocked. That means only you can see it once it's recognized a face, and I'm sure Apple have added that to the API. Along with the widgets, Apple has provided some really cool new unique wallpapers. My favourite one is this weather wallpaper that changes depending on the current conditions and time outside. There is also a new effect you can get on wallpapers. If you take any image off the internet, it doesn't have to be a portrait photo, you can basically make it so that a person or an object will be behind the time. I'll show you a clip on screen now. It's basically some sort of depth effect and it makes it look really good. Tying in with the release of focus mode from last year, you can now also change your lock screen depending on your focus mode. So that's quite nice. Now you can change your home screen, lock screen, and Apple Watch face, all depending on focus mode, all built straight into focus mode settings now. So that's going to be great, as you're going to be able to basically be like, I want this lock screen to display this information, I want lock screen to display this information, be able to basically separate everything into separate corners of your life, which sounds great to me. When you're playing audio now, a new UI pops up at the bottom of the screen. Unlike before, this UI is a lot more compact and looks a lot better. And along with that, if you start a timer, a little UI will stack on top of this audio playing UI. You have the options to pause, stop, or resume, depending on if you pause the timer straight from your lock screen now. And if you're not playing audio, the timer will just be there. Now, what I haven't tried out yet, which I will get back, I will put some more footage of this. That's it. But if you start the time first and then do music, will the music go on top of the timer or the timer go on top? I'm gonna try that out. I will let you know. Apple also introduced a new live action API. What this basically means is at the bottom of your lock screen, where have your timer and your music and notifications all going. There's quite a lot going on down there, but hopefully it will work. Well, I mean, I haven't seen it in full swing of everything going on, but what this live action API is basically is developers can put new information at the bottom there. So let's say you've ordered a ride from Uber. What happens is the bottom of your screen, you'll be able to see, oh, your ride will be here in 5 minutes, without even having to unlock your phone. Or maybe you have to show your face first, but you don't have to go into the app of Uber, click on a bunch of things. It's all straight from a lock screen. Or let's say you ordered food from Deliveroo, you can see it all from the lock screen now, without having to go into the app to see the current update or status of where the driver is or whatever you're tracking. It's going to be quite useful, and Apple are also tying this into built-in sports data they've got now, so that you can view your favorite team's sports and everything all straight in one place now. Notifications from your other apps all stack at the bottom of your screen now. This leaves the middle of the screen to look a lot more cleaner, to be honest, and I like this look more. And for other notifications that won't come in of certain focus modes or whatever, you can just swipe up like you did before and be able to scroll through the list. Last year, Apple introduced focus mode, which, by the way, if you want to know more about that, I do have a video on it over there or there. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of those sites where you can watch the video on it. Anyway, it's one of the biggest issues of focus mode is, let's say I was in my work focus, I went on Safari. When on Safari, I'm going to go into YouTube, I'm going to go on Reddit, I'm going to go on Twitter. You can do that even if you're in work mode. But now you can introduce focus filters, which will basically say to your phone, no, when they're in work focus, they're not allowed to access anything that has reddit.com basically, or no twitter.com or no youtube.com. Basically, it blocks out certain functions, and developers have an API to make this happen in their apps too. Although sadly, I'm sure apps like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and all of those social media apps won't be won't bother adding this to our app as we'd like you to spend as much time as possible on there, and let's be honest, we all do. Oh, and social media apps, the only updates they ever get is to fuck up the UI more. I mean, seriously, YouTube. On the iPad, you have to, like, do some wizardry now to access the comments. It's just section. It's just... Why? Why do you fuck up the UI? Same with Instagram. Honestly, you guys had a good app going, everything's perfect, and you have to mess it up every couple months. I mean, every couple months. I'm having another issue with the YouTube app on my iPad, and it's just so frustrating, Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, YouTube, but fix your shit, YouTube. You ever send a message to someone, and you forget a comma or something, and it changes the whole meaning of the sentence? Well, you don't have to like an idiot no longer. So now you can edit your message 15 minutes after being sent. Side note. Or you can delete it. I think that's also 15 minutes after being sent. So that's quite neat now. You can no longer make stupid grammar mistakes of your, even though what I just said did not sound right to me. Grammar. So caveat, they will be notified if you delete or edit a message. And second of all, if I'm to delete a message, but the person I sent the message to is still on iOS 15 or lower, they can still see the message. So I'm not going to say what to do, but I'm going to say you could keep an extra device around and see if your friends have been saying anything to you. Like, when they delete it quickly so they don't want you to see it, you know, you can get your feelings hurt. How great is that? Now, after years of everyone asking Apple to do it, Apple finally did it. You can mark messages or threads as unread. Thank you, Apple. This is such a basic feature. Why wasn't it there from the beginning? You know what? I'm not going to moan. We got it. Better late than never. The Home app. It got its first update since it came out in iOS 10, and Apple have partnered with other brands to bring more things to HomeKit. Now, this is good because of TP-Link, smart plugs and stuff, which are quite cheap, will be in HomeKit now. Hopefully TP-Link won't raise the prices because of that, even I do have quite a few already, so I'm not going to complain. For now, what happens is Apple are now introducing another smart home standard. I don't remember what it's called. According to my notes, I don't have it either because it's stupid. We don't need another standard on top of Zigbee, on top of your Z-Wave, on top of your Wi-Fi, on top of your Bluetooth, on top of this, on top of that. Why do we have so many smart home standards these days? And I remember a few weeks, it was only like, not a few weeks ago, last year, Amazon were talking about a new standard. Why is everyone talking about a new standard? Let's stick with Zigbee and Z-Wave. They work the best. We don't need your crappy new standard Apple. We don't need your crappy standard Amazon. We want Zigbee and Z-Wave. I don't care about anything else. Seriously, please, we don't need to introduce more crappy standards. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Along with that, the Home app now doesn't have separate rooms, but all your devices are kind of on your main screen. Favorites at the top and each room is just below. I think you could change the order of the rooms, and there's tiles but adjust size depending on what Apple thinks is more important. Stupid how you can't change that, or the order of the tiles, I don't think. It's all, you know, stupid, but it's quite nice, I guess, kind of. And then I noticed, though, my Home Hub doesn't work properly, because it's on an older version of iOS or something. I don't know, the Home... So half the time my phone's not connected to the right Wi-Fi, or if it's like on 5G or something, I can't change my lights like I used to be able to. And then second of all, the control center, this really pisses me off by the way. The control center used to update to show the most, I'm guessing it's just a beta bug currently at the moment, but it's just really annoying. But basically the control center would update with your most used accessories or most used scenes. And my most used scenes and accessories are turning on my lights in the morning, turning off my lights at night with a scene, and both of those two in the morning, and then just turning off my ceiling lights. Those are literally the only three things I want in the control center, like quick access. Nope, I have to now go into the control center, do so much scrolling to find what I'm looking for. Please, Apple. Please, I beg you. Please make that fixed. Oh, anyone here? A sweet new feature quickly. This isn't related on anything I'm going to say in the future. This is just a random feature section. Anyways, the keyboards, when you type on your keyboard on your phone, it now has haptics. There's someone at the door. When you now type on your phone, you can finally enable keyboard haptics. This is going to be pretty awesome. I mean, years ago, when I first started playing, when I first played a random Android, I was like, whoa, this is really cool. There's like haptic feedback when I type. And now, it's just so much better having it. It's so nice having an iPhone with such a good haptic engine. It's really good. If you're using iOS, go into settings, keyboard, and turn it on. You won't regret it. And a little caveat, by the way, how much of the keyboard is sometimes it randomly stops working. You have to turn the vibrator on and off on the phone, and it's really annoying. So it doesn't work. I've gotten so used to it, even after like a week of having it, well, a bit longer than a week. But I've gotten so used to it, but not having it feels like I'm typing on a brick. I don't know how people lived without it. God, it's amazing. You need to try it if you're on iOS 16. Alright, so here's a few little bugs I noticed so far. I also just mentioned before, the keyboard haptics not always working. Like I said before, it's a pain. I hope that has fixed the Beta 2, which was released today, so I need to update later. And if anything I was saying in this video is basically changed thanks to Beta 2, I'm most likely cut it out and I'll redub over or whatever. But yeah, if there's anything which bug I mention, which I don't then cut out, that most likely means it's not been changed in Beta 2. And then the third bug, this has been a bug for ages in Apple software, but it's the most annoying bug there is for me. When you're listening to music on Apple Music, half the time, you'll get halfway through a song or something, and then you haven't done anything on any other device, and it'll be like, sorry, you've reached your music limit. Why? Just why? Please fix this. It's been in your software for over a year now, Apple. I've reported this bug multiple times, and I've seen other users moan about it. Please fix this bug. It is the most infuriating bug you have. And it doesn't happen on the web, by the way. It only happens on iPhones and iPads and MacBooks when you're playing directly through the Apple Music app. Please fix it, Apple. It is so frustrating. And then another annoying bug of the music app, which is also really frustrating, is sometimes when you're playing a playlist, you get to the end of the song, the app just lingers at the end of the song. Nothing you can do. You have to close out the app, open it again, and then you can continue playing the next song. Or sometimes, if you get lucky, you can just press the skip button, but still, it just stays at the end of the song. It just vibes there. Just why? Please, Apple, fix your bloody music app. Okay, I would love to say that iPadOS got so many cool new features this year, but I'm going to be honest with you. iPadOS only really got cool features on the M1 iPads, and majority of iPad users, believe it or not, Apple, don't own an M1 iPad. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on iPadOS now, as the video is kind of currently running quite ahead of time as planned, but here's what I'll tell you quickly, is Apple introduced Stage Screen. You can multitask like you're on a Mac, even in my opinion that version of multitasking sucks. Please use a tiling window manager. You will never want to use that again. Anyways, off that topic, Apple are only allowing this in the M1 chip, but you're telling me your A12, Z, and X chips, which are basically almost just as powerful, aren't allowed to do that. And then second of all, keep in mind, a few years ago, when Apple first talked about their transition to ARM for the introduced the M1, they gave out a developer test kit of an A12X Mac Mini. That Mac Mini, of course, was able to output to a screen, but guess what? Apparently, the A12X chip in your iPad isn't capable of doing that. So, Apple kind of, did crap. Yeah, Apple did crap. Why is that a thing? That sucks. Please, Apple, let the A12X and Z chips output to a screen. Thank you. And then quickly, WatchOS got some nice new features. The only feature I really care about though on WatchOS was the new sleep tracking. I mean, it's other stuff, but the sleep tracking was improved. You don't have to dig around the app for 20 minutes with the health app on your phone to find information on how long you slept for. It's just there, and you can actually see how long you're in each sleep cycle for, which is really nice. I mean, I still think the Fitbit has better data, but at least the Apple Watch is getting now with sleep tracking after 2 years of it being around. And now, quickly, I'm going to talk a bit about the M2 MacBook Pro. Look, Apple have always had in every single product line one product which just shouldn't exist in general. And of course, it was inevitable for Apple to have that happen with the ARM lineup of MacBooks. So it's happened now. M2 MacBook Pro. Let's get something straight. The M2 MacBook Air has the newer design of the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros in a better package. Let's get something straight. The M2 MacBook Air has a better design than the M2 MacBook Pros. It has the new design of the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros. God, there's too many MacBook Pros. You see what I'm saying? And then along with that, you upgrade the M2 MacBook Air. It's still cheaper than the M2 MacBook Pro. And you get the exact same spec. All you're missing is a fan. But you get MagSafe. You get USB-C. Well, you already have that on the Pro, but still. You get a better design. You get MagSafe. Please. And the M2 MacBook Pro doesn't make sense. You really want the fan and that like proper actual Pro power. Then go to an M1 Pro MacBook Pro. God, Apple, fix your naming schemes already. Why? M1 Pro MacBook Pro or M1 Max MacBook Pro? Just, please. Okay, but still, as I point out whenever I talk about naming schemes, iPhone XS Max, iPhone Extra Small Max. Come on, Apple. You guys are shit at naming products, apparently. Please fix your naming scheme. Look, there's so much more I'd like to add into this video, but I don't want this video to be long. I'm getting hot standing here. It is like 23 degrees outside. I don't know why I decided to wear this. I don't even know what I'm on about anymore. But there's more I want to talk about software-wise. But I want to give Apple a fair chance. I'm going to wait till the full release in September. And in September, I'm going to make quite a big, well, hopefully it'll be big. I mean, it's not really many changes though, but hopefully I'll be making somewhat of a big review video on iOS, macOS, and iPadOS, and watchOS too. Don't forget about that. Oh, and of course, AirPods OS. Everyone loves AirPods OS. But yeah, seriously, there will be a big video of that in September, hopefully. But other than that, that's it, I guess. I mean, if you want to see more videos on Apple, click over there, or more videos to do with tech, click over there. But other than that, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, because that would help out, you know. I know it's like such a cliche thing to say, but I don't care. Please, it helps out. Alright, thank you for watching, and see you later.